If you wanted the prompter to your setup and have something like the audience, yourself, and even your slide notes right into the prompter while you're presenting live, you need to watch this video. I've been using the Elgato Prompter for over a year now, and I can tell you this is one of the best tools that you can add to your virtual sessions. And you can make it even better if you do these 5 steps that I'm going to show you right now. But before that, make sure that you like and subscribe so I know to create more content like this. Step number 1 is using the prompter on display mode. A lot of people make the mistake of using the teleprompter mode, which is not the best way for you to present online. So switch it to display mode before continuing, because this is going to be very important. Step number 2 is using OBS Studio. This is going to be the secret sauce for us to use the prompter in its maximum potential. And if you don't know, OBS Studio is a production software that allows you to create an incredible presentation, like bringing slides to the screen in a more engaging way, showing videos, animations, and text, and bringing the audience to the stage, and much more. This really transforms your sessions from just a regular session, like a regular meeting, from an audience experience. Step number 3 is designing the screen that is going to appear here on the prompter. And we're going to be doing that with OBS Studio on the scene collection that you're going to use to present. So you will have your scene collection that, again, I have a walkthrough up there that you can follow to get started with online presentations. The scene that we're going to create is going to be called Prompter. And I like to use this little goggling eyes emoji here to identify a kind of scene that we're going to be using to put on other monitors like the prompter. We need to add a video capture device. That's going to be your OBS camera. Whatever is going on your OBS, you are going to be able to see. Right now, if I start virtual camera, you're going to see that OBS appears here, the logo. If I start virtual camera, nothing happens because it's just streaming what is happening. But if I create a window capture right here of this screen, and I make sure that it's toggled to always on top, I can switch to another scene and we will continue to see this window. And now if I turn on my virtual camera, I can see myself. So let's go back to the prompter scene and we are going to add a few more things. The next thing that you want to add here is your audience. So you can go to Zoom and create a call with a few people, like your phone, your computer, and another device that you have around, or just 2 devices. What you want to do is bring whatever is going on Zoom to OBS, and here's how you're going to do it. On the prompter scene, you're going to add a Mac screen capture. If you are on Mac, if you're on Windows, it's going to be window capture. Then we're going to name it Zoom. We are going to select window capture in the case of Mac. For Windows, it will be the default option. We are going to uncheck show cursor, and we're going to find the Zoom meeting option right here. Now we're going to see the Zoom audience on the screen. We just need to hold Alt or Option for Mac and drag it out. And then we can make it big, the size of the screen. And we're going to be seeing exactly what is going on Zoom right now. A lot of people are joining and leaving, so we get to see exactly what is happening on Zoom on top of our camera, which is really important. So now what we want to do is add our slide notes. So that will be the next source that we're going to add to the prompter scene. And here is how it's going to work. On every slideshow application, you have the option to have the presenter's notes appearing. So as you're editing your slides, you can write notes. And then when you're presenting, you can see the notes related to the current slide that you are in, which is exactly what we want to bring to OBS. For example, here I have a slide and I have a note below. And then in every other slide, I have other notes for each one of them. So these are notes that the audience doesn't get to see, only myself when I'm presenting, because I will click on play and I will have the presenter notes option on Keynote. If I click right here, I will be able to see the next slide and the current note. And to get this window view, at least on Keynote, what you need to do is click on play and then in window. This will make sure that when you play the slides, it's not going to take the whole screen. It's just going to take a window that you can drag anywhere without taking the space of a whole monitor. So here's how you are going to grab the slide notes and bring it to OBS. The process will be very similar to what we did with the audience. We are going to screen capture it. But before that, if you are on Keynote, you want to make sure that you come to the settings, choose the slideshow, and make sure that show presenters display window in other applications is toggled on. If it's not, the next process is not going to work. So this is what you're going to do in whatever slideshow application that you are using. You will have the presenter's notes up we want to capture that presenter's notes. So we just need to add a Mac screen capture or window capture for Windows. I'm going to call it notes, choose window capture, and choose keynote presenters display. This is going to bring this little window into OBS. And again, we're going to hold Alt or Option for Mac, and we're going to drag it down like that. And we're going to press Control F or Command F. This is going to make it big. On every slideshow application, you will have something like this. And we're going to now make sure that the text goes on top of our camera and not takes this white background. If you use dark mode and actually this area right here is black and the word is white, you don't need to do this next step. In case you don't use dark mode, you're gonna do this next step because we want to invert the colors and make sure that this area right here is black and the words are white. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna right click, go to filters, add apply LUT that comes with OBS. Then we're gonna click on browse. This is gonna bring up this folder right here already automatically. You're gonna click on invert, hit OK, and close. There you go, it's inverted. Again, if you are using dark mode, you don't need to do that because it will already look like that. Now, here's the magic step. We're gonna right click, choose blending mode, and choose screen, and look at that. Immediately we can see what is behind the note, which is really cool. To make it better, we can add a color source, and I'm going to make sure that this is black right here. And I'm gonna drag it below the notes, go to filters, add a color source, a color correction, and bring the opacity down a bit, like to 75%. And now we can see the camera behind, and we can see the notes. So again, if we have our window projector scene, and then we go to the me scene, we can click to start virtual camera, and now we can see, look at that. We can see ourselves and we can see the audience, okay? We can see the slide notes. And if we go to the prompter and we click to show zoom, then we can see the audience. Right now, this is what will look like if you are on a one-on-one call, and if you are in a group session, you can see all the people on the session as well. So now your prompter scene is ready, and what we need to do is add the stream deck button so that you can control it. Here's how you're gonna do it. You're gonna drag a source button to your OBS, and we're gonna target the scene prompter and the source zoom. That will be our audience button. I'm gonna copy and paste. And I'm gonna select now my notes. This is gonna be my notes button. There you go. I can toggle my notes on and off, and I can toggle my audience on and off. Now the last step is gonna be bringing that screen to the prompter. And because it is on display mode, all it takes is for you to come here, right click, window projector, and then you're just going to drag it to that window. Look at that. I can just drag the window right here, and then I can maximize it, and it will take the full screen. And now I can turn on my virtual camera on OBS. If I go to the scene with myself, there you go. I have my notes right here, timer. I can see myself on the screen, and I have the notes right here. And as I go to the next slide, the notes are gonna change as well. So people can see some slides if I decide them to see it. Otherwise, I can have slides that is just for me to follow while I'm presenting. So I'm passing to the next slide and I'm reading a different note. And this helps me with the content to stay on track and know exactly where I am going. And now you have the ultimate setup for live presentations on the prompter. And you can switch quickly to the audience if you want to talk to one person or see the entire audience, and you can show and hide your slide notes at any moment that you need. This is going to give you a tremendous flow for when you are presenting, because you will be able to have eye contact with the audience while still keeping track of your content. So hope you guys like it, and if you want to see more contents like this, make sure that you like and subscribe, because I have a lot more coming. And if you want to walk through how to get started with OBS Studio for online presentations, watch this video right here. I'll see you there.